Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradari Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamunatira Vanakari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradari Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari. Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradari Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Jai Om Vishnu Padaya Paramahamsa Parivragacha Ashtatara Shri Srimad His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnu Padaya Paramahamsa Parivragacha Ashtatara Shri Srimad His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnu Padaya Paramahamsa Parivragacha Ashtatara Shri Srimad His Divine Grace Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada Ki Jai. Anda Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Srimad Bhagavatam Grantaraj Ki Jai. All glories to the assemble of devotees. All glories to the assemble of devotees. All glories to the assemble of devotees. All glories to Sri Guru and Gauranga. Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Uttale Srimati Chandamai Swami Bhaktivedanta Swami Tinamya Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharayani Vishesha Shinavadi Pashtata Deshatarine Pancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kalpasindhavajagacha Pajnam Pavanabhi Vaishnavi Namamaha. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Padbhyam Bhakta Hridishtabhyam Vandyabhyam Loka Vanditaihi Angamyasyak Samakramya Bhagavan api tatstanam Padbhyam Bhakta Hridishtabhyam Vandyabhyam Loka Vaditaihi Angamyasya Samakramya Bhagavan api tatstanam Padbhyam Bhakta Hridishtabhyam Yabhyam Loka Vanditaihi Ramyasyak Samakramya Bhagavan api tatstanam. Who else would like to chant? Padbhyam Bhakta Hridishtabhyam Yabhyam Loka Vanditaihi Angamyasyak Samakramya Bhagavan api tatstanam. Padbhyam Bhakta Hridishtabhyam Yabhyam Loka Vanditaihi Angamyasyak Samakramya Bhagavan api tatstanam. Mataji's. Padbhyam Bhakta Hridishtabhyam Yabhyam Loka Vanditaihi Angamyasyak Samakramya Bhagavan api tatstanam. Anyone else would like to chant? We move on to word by word transliteration. Padbyam, by the two lotus feet. Bhakta Hridistabhyam, which are always thought of by pure devotees, in whose heart the Lord is therefore situated constantly. Vandyabhyam, which are always to be praised. Loka Vanditaihi, by Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, who are praised by all the inhabitants of the three worlds. Angam, the body. Yasyaha, of whom Putana. Samakramya, embracing. Bhagavan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Api, also. Tatstanam, that breast. Yatudhani api, although she was a witch, whose only business was to kill small children, and who had tried to kill Krishna also. Sa, she, Svargam, the transcendental abode. Avapa, achieved. Janani Gatim, the position of a mother. Krishna Bhukta Stana Kshiraha. Therefore, because their breasts were sucked by Krishna, who drank the milk flowing from their bodies. Kim U, what to speak of? Gavaha, the cows. Anumataraha, exactly like mothers who allowed their nipples to be sucked by Krishna. Translation: the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, is always situated within the core of the heart of the pure devotee, and he is always offered prayers by such worshipable personalities as Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva. Because Krishna embraced Putana's body with great pleasure and sucked her breast, although she was a great witch, she attained the position of a mother in the transcendental world and thus achieved the highest perfection. What then is to be said of the cows whose nipples Krishna sucked with great pleasure and who offered their milk very jubilantly with affection exactly like that of a mother? Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Jai. These verses explain how devotional service rendered to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, whether directly or indirectly, knowingly or unknowingly, becomes successful. Putana was neither a devotee nor a non-devotee. She was actually a demoniac witch, instructed by Kamsa to kill Krishna. Nonetheless, in the beginning she assumed the form of a very beautiful woman and approached Krishna exactly like an affectionate mother, so that Mother Yashoda and Rohini did not doubt her sincerity. the Lord took all this into consideration, and thus she was automatically promoted to a position like that of a Mother Yashoda. As explained by Vishwanatha Chakravarti Thakur, there are various roles one may play in such a position. Putana was immediately promoted to Vaikuntha Loka, which is sometimes described as Svarga. The Svarga mentioned in this verse is not the material heavenly planet, but the transcendental world. In the Vaikuntha Loka, Putana attained the position of a nurse, Dhatri Uchitam. As described by Uddhava, Putana was elevated to the position of a nurse and maidservant in Goloka Vrindavan to assist Mother Yashoda. Om Agyanati Randasha Gananjaya Shakala Chakshumitam Gina Tashmai Shri Gurve Namaha Shri Chendaram Manabhishtam Sapitam Yena Bhutale Svayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dati Svapadandikam. Wow, it's a great verse of the 6th chapter, 10th canto. Describes the after effects of killing Putana by Krishna and what happened to her. I was reading this verse yesterday, and I was just struck by and wondered by Lord's unlimited mercy. I think this verse exemplifies the Supreme's Lord unlimited mercy. I mean, it's hard for me to imagine. I can't really imagine, can't really comprehend Krishna's mercy. He was so impartial and didn't mind giving salvation even to a demon who wanted to kill him. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, 9th chapter, verse 29, that I envy no one, nor am I partial to anyone. I am equal to all, but whoever renders service unto me with devotion as a friend is in me, and I am also a friend to him. It's a pretty interesting verse. And obviously, Putana's disposition was very, very unfriendly, unfavorable. Even then, Krishna did not mind giving her salvation. I was thinking about it and thinking about it. It brought a question to my mind, a very deep question we need to ask ourselves. I need to ask myself, how much do we extend ourselves to give Krishna to others? Not even demoniac people, obviously, but those who might be able to take up some aspects of Krishna consciousness in the beginning. Doesn't matter how much they take in the beginning. It could be a little bit, reading some books, you know, come to the temple sometimes, do some chanting once in a while. But how much do we extend ourselves daily to give Krishna to others? Krishna is so merciful. He saves demons. Therefore, today's topic will focus on different ways the Lord reaches out to us, so that in turn we may reach out to others. That's how I see it. I mean, the Lord reaches out to even demons, reaches out to innocent people. And then, how do we reach out to others? How do we appreciate that mercy that's coming, so we can reach out to others and benefit, so people experience the mercy that we are experiencing? So first I would like to, we'll be able to better answer this question for ourselves. I'll be able to better answer it to myself by exploring some points about some aspects of Putana, very briefly though. And then we will, after we talk about Putana a little bit, we're going to talk about Krishna's outreach program. What's his outreach program for this age of Kali Yuga? So number one would be the role of Demoness Putana. She, as I mentioned a couple of weeks ago, she played a role of a loving mother, but internally she meditated on Krishna in a very unfriendly, unfavorable way. She wanted to kill Krishna. So she represents this idea of falsity, false guru, false leader, false nurse, false caretaker, falsity in general. Leaders are, many of them they don't have great character and they want to lead people. They're cheating people in different ways. So this quality of falsity is very prominent, especially in Kali Yuga. And I was reading this verse yesterday. Another thing came to my mind. That Krishna was saying, or Sukadeva Goswami was saying that although she was a great witch, she attained the position of mother in the transcendental world and thus achieved the highest perfection. What then is to be said of the cows whose nipples Krishna sucked with great pleasure, who offered their milk very jubilantly and with affection exactly like that of a mother? So I was thinking, so we have two different kind of spectrum. We have one extreme here. Here's the Demoness Putana, and on the other side of the spectrum are the pure devotees in the transcendental realm. I was thinking, where am I? I'm somewhere. I don't want to be a demon. I don't want to be on this side. I want to be on that side. But somehow or other, I am in the middle somewhere. And this verse gave me an impetus to embrace Bhakti Yoga, the practice of Bhakti Yoga more, because I want to be on the other side. I want to get closer to the transcendental realm that Krishna talks about in this verse. And the process is very pleasant, and the awards are beyond our wildest imagination. This is a nice, I don't know how to say it, strategy, a nice technique used by Sukadeva Goswami. I think it's, if I'm not mistaken, it's a rhetorical question. They're asking a question. What then is to be said of the cows whose nipples Krishna sucked with great pleasure? So a rhetorical question is, I think, when the answer is understood without saying. You don't even need to explain how much Krishna takes care of the devotees, the pure devotees, and the practicing devotees like ourselves. How much Krishna takes care of us. If he took care of Putana and other demons, give them liberation, so how much Krishna will take care of us and protect our practice, and facilitate our growth and our service to him. So that question also came to my mind, and also inspired me to embrace Krishna consciousness even more. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, verse 40, that there is no loss. I'll read the Sanskrit. First, Neha Bikrama Nasusti Pratyavayo Navidyate Svalpam Apyasya Dharmasya Trayate Mahato Bhayat. There's no loss of diminution in this endeavor of Bhakti Yoga. There's no loss of diminution, and a little advancement on this path can protect one from the most dangerous type of fear, which I think Srila Prabhupada mentions in the purport. Usually the living entities fear, what they fear the most is death, physical demise. But there's no loss in practicing Bhakti Yoga. If we embrace it even more, we will quickly be elevated and be able to reach out to others even more in better ways, more potent ways, and share that mercy with others. So this is just like a little introduction. And then the Krishna's outreach program for Kali Yuga. I wrote some points. First of all, Krishna reaches out to us to these beautiful verses of Srimad Bhagavatam. He reaches out to the devotees, practicing devotees, all types of devotees. And he's teaching us something else here by reaching out to us. I think I have a feeling that he's teaching us, like he was very tolerant of Putana. Putana did whatever she wanted. She almost succeeded, right? It looked like she succeeded. She gave him the poison. And Krishna was very tolerant. He let her do her thing. And then he was violent. He used that violence. He used this, show that fighting spirit, and he killed Putana, but he gave her liberation and facilitated the service to him. So Krishna, by acting in such a way, he showed us how to tolerate other people sometimes, I think. It is very hard. From my personal experience, you know, I go to work, I work at a fitness club, and we see dozens and hundreds of people walking by, and you work with different people one by one, and you work with them, you know, physical therapy and things like that. And then sometimes they're not in the best of moods, and they say different things, you know, talk about mundane subject matters that are completely unrelated to devotional service. Sometimes people walk by and say something, you know. So we have to be tolerant and patient. Am I enjoying these conversations with them? I would rather be talking about something else, but I have my job there, and I have to tolerate their discussions, what's on their mind, they want to say something. So in a way, I'm forced to listen to it, and you know, what can I do? I mean, I was thinking I cannot rebuke them or, you know, force them to change the subject, correct them too abruptly. This is, you know, my profession is related to health and fitness, overall well-being. So I could technically correct them and say, hey, listen, just let's talk about health, and let's talk about meditation, let's talk about other things. But usually this approach is not so, from my experience, it's not a great approach to steer people in a different direction. Usually you let them talk for a while, let them express themselves, and it's more productive to do that than later. They will feel good that they were able to say what they need to say, and that gives us a chance to, they will give us a chance to they will ask us, hey, what about you? How was your day? What did you do over the weekend? Things like that. So this was like a stepping stone. This conversation, letting them talk and being patient with them, could be used later as a stepping stone to injecting in them some Krishna consciousness at a later stage. It may take weeks, it may take months or years before they ask you something about, you know, spiritual practice or you know, visiting some temple. But this interesting thing, sometimes, you know, most devotees live outside the temple complex, and they interact with others, and it's very hard to not be drawn into material consciousness while interacting with them, you know, 10 hours a day. But with my experience, you know, we have to tolerate those mundane subject matters and just what is necessary, and then try to always keep in mind how to elevate other people, and try to remember Krishna during those those less Krishna conscious hours of our day, so to speak. So Krishna reaches out to us through the pages of this Srimad Bhagavatam, through the verses, shlokas of this nice verse, and teaches us tolerance, how to be tolerant of others, so we can eventually be able to motivate them and gently push them in the direction of Krishna consciousness. Another way in which Krishna reaches out to the unfortunate people of this Kali Yuga age is through the chanting of his holy names. This is the Yuga Dharma for this age. We are very fortunate to participate in Srila Prabhupada's Sankirtan movement, chanting the holy name, Harinam, during Harinam. So this is another way. For those who don't read Krishna conscious books, they don't have a chance to read them yet. They will hear the holy name when devotees chant on the streets. They will hear the holy name. I myself, I feel a little guilty because I don't participate in Harinam so much. And I know many devotees who live far away, they're away from the remote areas, and they don't have a chance to come to the temple often or spend a lot of time with the temple. They do not necessarily participate in Harinam, Sankirtan daily. But what I found useful for those who come to the temple once a week or even less frequently, you can always take some books home, and when you go to work, actually books, the books will be in the next point, but when you go to work and you interact with other people, you can always surprise them, and you know, some people you'll know more, some people know less, like walkers walking by you, or sometimes they interact with you daily, you know, depending on where you work. Once again, it could be work at a bank, you know, you work in a restaurant, anywhere. You interact with people, and some people you know daily, you run into them and say, hey, hi, how are you? So what I found useful is instead of greeting them, hi, how are you, I may say Hare Krishna. Eventually they will know the meaning of Hare Krishna. They will ask me a question what it is. You know, in my situation, I have like, you know, many dozens of people, hundreds of people walking by and talking to me sometimes. And sometimes they come up to me for questions about fitness and health. And sometimes they say, hi, how are you? You know, and I'm talking to someone, have an appointment. But sometimes it is very useful to have a few people who know what Hare Krishna means. And let's say they're far away, but you notice them, you spot them in the crowd somewhere, in the remote corner of the gym, you can yell. I usually yell, hey, Hare Krishna, because I know them, and they know the meaning of Hare Krishna. So those who do not know the meaning of Hare Krishna, they will hear it at least. They may be surprised, they may like just hear it and be indifferent, but just the fact that you're screaming Hare Krishna to someone and use it as a greeting, it may be very useful for those people who walk by, to hear it and get the benefit. So I found this, you know, I found this very useful. And then sometimes, you know, once in a blue moon, someone comes up to me, hey, what was that, Hare Krishna, what was that? You know, they'll ask me a question. And then you can tell them more. And sometimes you're in your neighborhood, maybe you're riding a bike, you know, I ride a bike sometimes. Or, you know, you drive through your neighborhood, slow speed, and you see neighbors on the bike or with children and strollers, you know. You know, sometimes I just roll down the window in my car and say, you know, Haribo, Hare Krishna, and sometimes a little bit louder so someone else on the other side of the street can hear me. And what I found useful is that, you know, when you say Haribo, it kind of sounds like, how are you? So some people don't catch the difference. They say, oh, he's just saying, how are you? So they respond to you, oh, good, how are you? So even though they do not know the meaning of Haribo, and they take it to that you're saying, how are you? They will respond nicely, and they will be smiling, and you make friends, or if you know them, they will eventually ask you, did you say how are you? What did you say? But some of them, they will not notice. They just say something nice, how are you? And they smile, and that will add up to their credit, which is Agyata Sukriti. They will get a benefit, and eventually they'll be more likely to take up some spiritual process years from that day, who knows. We leave it up to Krishna, but they're hearing the name, whether they chanted purely or not purely, it doesn't matter. The name is out there, and then they're hearing it, and there's some benefit that Krishna will decide how to adjust the course of their activities and the course of their life events. So they will eventually pick up some spiritual process. So that's one of the ways Krishna reaches out to the fallen people of Kali Yuga through the holy name. Obviously the best way is to get together with devotees and go on Harinam. Part of the Harinam is Sankirtan, distributing books. Once again, for those who don't live close to the temple and they have a hard time spending a lot of time devoting their time at the temple to do service and go out on Harinam and Sankirtan, they can take some books home and take them to work. I think I mentioned that 3 weeks ago, during the lecture. Depending on where you work at a restaurant, take some book on vegetarian cooking. You work at a bank, take some other books, how to get rich or something, by Srila Prabhupada. Any kind of books that kind of resembles the topic, or you can somehow link it to the people that will visit your workplace. Once again, I work at a fitness club, so they do yoga and kind of different kinds of fitness activities. You can take a book on yoga, the perfection of yoga. Perfection of yoga, or easy journey to other planets. Books like that, the title of the book and the picture, the cover of the book will kind of match the mood of your place, of your workplace. This way, you're more likely to catch people's attention and distribute those books. Once again, that's for devotees who don't have the facility, the good fortune to stay at the temple for 24 hours a day, and then they live somewhere out there in a remote area. Another part of Krishna's outreach program for the age of Kali Yuga is the displays of Vaishnava culture through festivals like Radha Yatra, the Festival of India. And I think we have next weekend there is this Viva Cultura performance in Naperville. I was really excited about that, so I took some flyers and took them to work to give to some people. People like to be entertained. They like to watch dancing, performance, some conversation, some quarrels, some romance, some fighting. They like to be entertained in this way. So Ramayana and Mahabharata, they have everything in it that would entertain people of Kali Yuga. Plus, they have the spiritual component that will be injected into their consciousness once they get caught into watching. They get caught. They watch it, they like it, they don't, eventually they realize that they don't mind some spiritual teachings, The consciousness is relaxed and happy, and they are able to take in some spiritual teachings at that time. So take some, there's a holiday coming or some festival of India, Radha Yatra festival. You can take some to work, to your friends. Let's say you're invited to a business meeting, you're invited to some picnic. You may attend just for the sake of taking some books with you or some flyers and distribute according to time and place. I found it easier to I found it easier to, instead of sometimes saying, Radha Yatra festival or the festival of Indian culture or Vaishnava culture, I found it easier to promote festivals and Krishna conscious activities by explaining to people in general terms that it's a parade, festival of joy, it's a holiday or carnival. This way people can relate to it, and when they're interested, then we may tell them more details. If they're not interested, we move on to another person and give them the flyer, or talk to them in a nice way if they would like to participate in a festival of joy. And if yes, then they can provide more details. So I found that useful, since it's one of the ways Krishna reaches out to people of Kali Yuga. I found it useful to distribute some flyers and present them to innocent people. And obviously, last but not least is Krishna Prashadam. Our Krishna conscious movement reaches out to people of Kali Yuga by distributing Prashadam. Sometimes people cannot take to philosophy or reading Srimad Bhagavatam or chanting. They don't care for hearing the Krishna's holy name. They're in misfortune, but almost everyone I came in contact with, they like to eat sometimes. And for example, at my workplace, I have people who are really into like healthy diets, and they follow what's the latest diet. And these days it's I'm not sure if you know, but there's this diet. It's called ketogenic diet. That you're supposed to eat a lot of protein and fat, less sugars, and then it's going to melt the fat away. And people don't like to be overweight, so they like this diet. So what I found useful sometimes, depending on the trend, in addition to books on vegetarian cooking, you can bring some peanuts or almonds, offered to Krishna yourself or taken from the temple. Sometimes I was inspired by some devotees were distributing, some little Ziplocs full of peanuts or some, nuts in general to those onlookers and bystanders when they were watching Radha Yatra. So I was inspired by that, and I took some. Sometimes I take some, peanuts or almonds and take them to work in a small Ziploc. And if I hear that some of my clients or people mention to me that I'm on a ketogenic diet, I want to lose weight, I want to just eat the fatty food and the protein food, I might have some protein bar ready for them that my wife made or offered to Krishna, or take some peanuts or almonds that offered to Krishna and give it to them in a Ziploc. Hey, here, by the way, I got some extra snacks for my lunch, but I got a few, so I'm almost done. Why don't you grab a little bag of these peanuts? This is all protein, good for your body, and it's got good fat. Actually, almonds have better fat than peanuts, but in this way you can distribute prashadam if you're not at the temple and you're not doing so much service at the temple. You may be still able to distribute prashadam, distribute books, and distribute the holy name of Krishna in little ways, but do it daily. If you do it daily, Krishna appreciates it, and then gradually he'll help you advance more, and also he will help you even serve other devotees and people outside of the movement more. So these are, in summary, some of the ways in which Krishna reaches out to the fallen people of Kali Yuga, and we are fortunate to participate in that outreach program that Krishna has, being tolerant and trying in different smart ways to distribute Krishna's mercy to the fallen age of, to the people of Kali Yuga. That would be very nice to embrace Krishna consciousness even more than ever before. After reading this nice verse today, I feel like I want to do more chanting, more reading, and more distributing of Krishna's books, prashadam, and the holy name. I hope you're inspired too, and I think I covered all of the points, so we open up for questions. We still have 5 or 6 minutes thank you for your time, and I am very sorry for some shortcomings in my presentation. Hare Krishna. Any questions, comments? Yes, Prabhu.
Okay, back. Turn it down a little bit. Thank you, Arjun Acharya Prabhu.
You're welcome.
There's something that came to my mind, so I'd like to share it.
Sure, go ahead.
As we read the verse. And one thing, I guess, in your profession, often you hear this say that no pain, no gain, right?
No, yeah, that's pain, pretty common saying, yeah.
You know, if you want to achieve the goal of, you know, becoming healthy with your body, you have to go through a whole procedure, and sometimes, you know, you have to push it a little bit, and there's a little pain, you know,
yes,
your muscles and things like that.
Sure.
So, as you express it, you know, very nicely, when you read the verse, or this series of verses of marveling at Krishna's mercy, once become inspired, you know, if Krishna is willing to extend his mercy to such a terrible personality and demoniac like Putana, who was actually not with the mood of serving him, but actually with the mood of killing him, and he still extend his mercy to the point of giving her the highest destination of, you know, service, personal service in Goloka Vrindavan. That's mind-boggling. So one feels very good. Oh, you know. So I'm not a great devotee. You know, I'm not necessarily, you know, even a devotee, but I'm favorable. You know, and I'm trying to do service, so I'm in good space, you know.
Right.
But you're thinking that although we see, oh, Putana got it very easy, you know, she got the mercy, and that lifetime back home, back to Godhead. But the way she had to go through excruciating pain and agony when Krishna was killing her. The description is...
I didn't think about it. The
description is that, you know, when Krishna was sucking her breast, he was sucking his life air, and in the process she was like agonizing. She was like screaming, please stop sucking my breast. Yeah, it was very vivid. You know,
very descriptive. Wow.
So I was thinking that purification, we have to be willing to take some pain. Just like, you know, so maybe you do that in your profession. You encourage people to push themselves, even if there's some pain, because the goal is a desirable goal, is you know, a healthy situation. So you have to pay the price, and the price takes some sacrifice and some pain. Even sometimes giving up some very strong habits that one find comfort, like, you know, I don't know, watching TVs for hours, you know, sitting in a couch eating potato chips, something like that, you know.
Of course.
But maybe you have, rather than to do that, you know, go out, take a bicycle and, you know, take a ride in the lake and breathe and, you know, take the sun and things like that. So no pain, no gain. You want to
exactly. I probably use this in my preaching strategies. I will use your point at my workplace. No pain, no gain. So maybe, Yes. Thank you for your comments. It's very true. No pain, no gain. Thank you, Prabhu. Any other questions? Questions, comments, clarifications, anything?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you for the class.
Krishna. No problem.
Is it to be understood that Putana got complete liberation? Finished. No more material existence. Like not falling down again.
Well, based on my understanding is not very deep, but based on what I've read, she became Krishna's nurse, helping Mother Yashoda. That means she was not liberated into the impersonal effulgence of Krishna's Brahmajyoti. She was actually liberated and got some personal service. So according to my understanding, she may not come back to the material world because she has a personal service, personal exchange with Krishna serving as a nurse. So according to my shallow understanding, I think it's a different type of liberation that devotees aspire to, not merely impersonal liberation that some other demons might have gotten when they were killed by Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Acharya. I just really liked your comment, the question that you stated. How much do we extend ourselves to give Krishna to others? I think that's a great question to often ponder. Like, how much are we connecting with Krishna in our own lives, and then giving that to devotees, and then also the world? I think it's something that we can almost forget, like the importance of sharing Krishna consciousness.
Sure.
That's our ultimate goal. And I just like the practical examples that you gave. Very simple. Not so esoteric or far-fetched, but you're just, helping people understand God. It's very sweet.
Sure. Thank you, Prabhu. Keep it simple, I mean, for me it helps. Otherwise I get caught up and confused, so just trying to keep everything simple. Thank you for your comment, Prabhu. Thank you. Any other questions, comments? Okay, then we wrap it up. Vanchaka Paturvascha Kripasundubhasavecha Payanam Pavanebhi Vaishnaveya Namo Namah.